Hey guys, how you going? This is BillyEatWorld again, and well, Battlefield 5 has been out now for coming up to 3 months, and I think we all know that it's still going through a few teething issues, which I think is obviously to be expected from any online multiplayer game of this size and scope, and especially, historically speaking, from the Battlefield series. With that being said though, I honestly think this is the best Battlefield game since at least Battlefield 4, and you guys can, I think, see with how many videos I'm putting out, I'm definitely enjoying it. But I mean, obviously there are a few things that do annoy me, and so what I thought we'd do today is go through my top 5 issues, and maybe you guys can let me know what you think in the comments so we can get some good feedback going for DICE. Alright, so to kick off, coming in at number 5, I think, are the issues with the UI, both in-game and in the front-end menus, like, for example, the company. And I think first and foremost is the issue that the process of customization in particular just isn't streamlined, and things like specializations aren't even in the same part of the menu. Not just that, but the whole customization system seems pretty inefficient. For example, it probably takes twice as many clicks more than it needs to change your gun or to respec it with a different loadout. And not just that, but I don't think there's enough options to turn off various HUD elements, and also in the company there's no way to turn off faction-locked loadouts, which, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, can cause you to spawn in time and time again with the wrong gun or the wrong gadget. Now, coming in next at number 4 are tanks, which currently I don't think feel that fun to use, not because of the way they're specifically designed, but mainly because of everything else that's designed to kill them. And admittedly, I think it has gotten a bit better with the recent nerfs to the Panzerfaust, but even then, it still feels like every time you jump into a vehicle, you can expect to get pummeled by them at some point. The big problem, I think, is the fact that assault players can carry up to 3 AT rounds now, and not just that, but infantry speed is still unrealistically fast, whereas tank movement speed hasn't been increased to compensate. And not just that, and this is a really big thing for me, it seems like it takes just as many tank rounds to kill another tank as it does Panzerfaust shots, which makes tank-on-tank battles not only just redundant, but completely unsatisfying. Alright, so coming in next at number 3 is the issue of respawn delay, and I know that this is a point that a lot of people out there in the community won't actually agree with. But hear me out, because I really think the way things are now, even though the new death cam does slow down respawns, players still aren't getting punished enough for getting killed. What that means is that reviving, and especially buddy reviving, isn't really worth it because, well, 1, it's pretty likely the other person is going to get killed, and 2, it's almost as fast just to respawn anyway. And don't take that as me saying that I think the revive animations need to be sped up, because I think they're okay. I just think that if they increase the respawn delay a little bit more, it might make medics a little bit more useful on the battlefield and encourage people to be a bit more careful and not get killed in the first place. Okay, so we're getting to the pointy end of this video, and coming in next at number 2, I know is a big one for a lot of people, and that's the issue of time to kill versus time to death not matching up. And basically what I mean by this is when you go to kill someone, it seems to take the normal amount of hits, but on the other hand, when you get killed by something ridiculous like a Sten gun at long range, it seems to be almost instant. Now, obviously this has got something to do with latency, and I've even experienced this a few times doing some in-game testing in out-of-region servers, where my gun has been mysteriously hitting for double damage, which obviously is a pretty game-breaking bug. But in saying that, the reason it's not at number 1 on this list is because, as terrible as it is to get one banged by an SMG, it is something that you can get used to. Now, just before we get onto the number 1 slot, I just want to give a few, I'm not going to say honourable mentions, to issues that I know a lot of you guys have that probably don't make my list. And obviously the main ones I'm missing out in this video is the fact that there's no hardcore mode and no rental servers yet, and the fact that they're both still in that grey area of will or won't they make it into the final game at all. Also, I just want to take a bit of a moment to say RIP to combat roles, which from the alpha I think we thought were going to be more impactful in game than they currently are. And I mean, obviously they do have a subtle impact in game, but sadly they didn't really end up expanding the 4 main classes the way we thought they would, which isn't something that can probably be fixed in this game, but maybe DICE can work on this for the future. But finally, coming in at number 1, surprise, surprise, are the issues I've talked about in just about every video for the last month regarding team balancing, or should I say, the complete lack of any team balancing mechanics at all. Which, I mean, also isn't a problem we haven't seen before in previous Battlefield games, right? I can imagine that in any multiplayer game, creating a balanced matchmaking system must be pretty much next to impossible. But the main issue is, in Battlefield 5, DICE also made the controversial decision to not include a team switch option, and there's also no vote scramble mechanic, which is something that's pretty common to see in other online FPS games. And so at the moment, we're just stuck with this game-breaking situation where balanced games are a rarity, and more often than not, it's one team steamrolling the other, which leads to a majority of the losing players rage quitting the server. But anyway, guys, that just about wraps up this top 5. So as always, let me know what you think about absolutely anything you have seen in this video. And also, like I said, I really want to get some constructive feedback going on these points in the comment section. So if you've got any opinions, please leave them down there. And if there's something that I think is worth mentioning, I'll make sure those opinions get sent to the right people. As always, though, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And please feel free to check out the links in the description if you want to see any more of these videos. And also, don't forget you can find my Twitter and Discord links down there if you want to keep in touch. And as always, until next time, see you later and have a good one.